he said it's Cole Beasley because he could stretch the defense. We are now joined once again by D'Angelo Hall. D'Angelo, I'm going to start with you here. Are you buying the hype? I'm going to remind you who you're sitting next to.
You know, I'm not buying the hype, but I could see where Dak's coming from, I guess. Cole Beasley is a capable receiver. You know, he's made a lot of plays, but, you know, Shannon, as you can attest to this, when you're in the slot, it's a little bit of a different world than going outside. When you're in the slot, you know, you got a little bit of room to wiggle a little bit. You can go either direction. A lot of times when you're on that edge, that DB is thinking, all right, I got my 12th defender being the side, you know, out of bounds. All I got to do is put him that way, you know. I can take this direction completely away from him. And so if Cole's going to go outside and try to be a number one receiver, it's going to be difficult for him. I'm sure he's working as hard as he can to be that great go-to guy. But, you know, I still see him being successful in the slot. I don't know if he's quite, you know, the guy who can move outside and make plays. And, you know, I think about Tavon Austin, who, I mean, speed in this league is crucial. If you have it, you can be pretty good and not even have much of a work ethic if you have that kind of speed that Tavon has. And, you know, I'm just a little confused because you have this great offensive mind in Sean McVay, and you have Tavon out there with the Rams, and it's like, you know, why wasn't he used to his ability? Because there's no doubt in my mind that he's an explosive player. I want to try to get him the ball. I want him to run routes. We never quite saw him run routes, kind of a la Percy Harvin. He was more of that gimmick guy. They threw little quick screens too. They threw reverses too, gadget guy. And so you bring in Brandon Cooks, who has shown in, you know, New Orleans that he can run every route and be successful. And they give this guy a monster contract. And same body types, speed guys, little quick, shifty guys. And so, you know, for them to feel like they can use Brandon Cooks this way but could not use Tavon this way, and then to hear Dallas say, oh, man, he's amazing. You know, he's scaring guys. I'm sure he's scaring guys when he runs a fade route, you know, because that's just pure speed, and he has that. But when it comes to just really running routes and DBs sitting there covering them all game long, you know, I question just how good Tavon really is at running routes, because I've never seen him do it in his career anywhere.
Before you go, did you wind up on Cole Beasley at all, ever?
At some point I did, yes.
Yeah, and?
Yes. I went in the slot, picked him off.
You just...
Yeah, it was funny. Skandrick was telling me a story. You know, he's in D.C.
Yeah.
I saw him at training camp the other day, and he's like...
He's a Redskin now.
Yeah, he's a Redskin now. So I'm sure you don't like him as much.
don't.
But he was just saying, hey, D-Hall, man, you know, you still could have played. I'm like, man, you know, that time's come and gone. He was like, man, I remember that game where, you know, they put you at the slot, and you was chasing Cole Beasley around, and you caught a pick. And I'm like, yeah, that was the good old days. I don't quite move like that anymore. So...
Who was the quarterback?
Tony
Romo.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know is Tony Romo.
Don't do that.
He throws it to everybody.
First of all,
He throws presents to everybody.
Tony was a really good quarterback. He did not get
Every
the
once
credit
in a
he
while he
deserved,
was.
man. Tony was a good quarterback.
Okay, so what was the book on Cole Beasley?
Quick guy, shifty, good hands, but wasn't going to beat you downfield. It was at one point they didn't even run a route. If you really scouted him, he never caught a ball past, I think, 11 yards until last year. I think he caught a 40 or 38-yarder or something like that. And so for me, knowing he's not going deep, I'm just going to try to beat him up, knowing if I lose him, just slip right under him because I don't have that threat of a deep ball. But Dak says he's stretching the field now, so we'll see. We'll see.
What do I know?
He's trying to contain him.
I don't know anything about football. I'm just telling you. First of all, really, when you play the slot, there's only really one deep route you can run at the seam.
Seam ball.
That's it.
Maybe an over route. But you got to have a little speed to get that over route.
Thank you. And then it depends on the team. You play in Seattle, they're going to rob you. You run the over route. That's what they got that lurk guy from to pick that over. So all I'm going to do is stay on the trail in. And then probably Earl Thomas or Cam going to knock you out. So I'm good with that. If you want to run across there, hey, I'm going to point you out. Let the safety know you coming.
You realize all those guys are gone.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm just saying.
Sure.
I'm just going to say with my safety, if I'm the DB playing him, I'm just, like he said, go play it. He's going to stretch the field horizontally. That's what he is, Skip. And can he be a go-to guy? Sure, you could be the go-to guy, but not having deep speed or not without running deep routes. That's what he is, Skip. Now all of a sudden we're supposed to think they're gonna line Cole Beasley up outside and he's gonna go beat people deep. That's not gonna happen. That's not what he is. That's not who he is. You play to your strengths. He's a guy that plays inside the numbers. That's where he's best at. The thing is about the slot, you know why? So it's easier to play the slot, but it's a lot more congested. I can use the umpire to rub you off. I can rub you off against your own man. I can get open on the shallow crosses. Plus, there's so many things. I can start in. I can option away from you. I can Zorro you where I go place up over the ball and take off again. There's so many things I can do. You can't be right on all of where outside, like D. Hall say, I jump inside. You ain't coming inside of me. So I'm sorry, Skip. Tavon Austin got great speed. It's hard for me to believe that all of a sudden now he's about to turn into Antonio Brown or Tyreek Hill. But I wish you well, Skip.
So I'm going to start with Tavon Austin. I loved him. You can look it up before that draft. I thought he was the steal of the draft with the 8th overall pick.
Really?
He ran 4.3 coming out of West Virginia, not Virginia Tech. And I thought he was misused and underutilized for 5 straight years with the Rams. And I ask you, Sean McVay, is he human? I know he's a fine young coach, great young offensive mind. Could he have made a mistake here?
No.
Yep.
No.
He could have made a big mistake here. Is he potentially going to be made to look foolish this year? Yep, he is. Because it looks like Dallas said, wait a second, why did you stick him at running back? Because they started right from the start. They said, you're more of a running back than a receiver. And he had almost as many runs as catches as a Ram over those 5 years. It's close.
Yeah.
184 rush to 194 catches.
Well, how you going to play him at running back when you got Zeke? You got to realize they didn't always have Todd Gurley.
Maybe you're making my case. I don't know. Because all of a sudden, I'm looking at this camp footage that I see, and he's lining up wide a lot because he ran 4.3, and he's got good hands. And when I would watch him at West Virginia, I know he's more run after catch than run by you.
Yes.
But he was sudden. He was electric. So maybe they swung and missed in St. Louis and Los Angeles with the Rams. Maybe this is a glaring need for them, and maybe they just said, let's make him a wideout.
Can I say something? Against those Cowboy DBs, I'll be spectacular right
really?
now at 50. You make it seem like they got Pat Peterson over there.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, now, Skip.
It's the scheme they got.
No. So what they need to
The scheme is the star.
No. You need some dogs out there on that back end.
They got some young talent.
But Skip, the days of playing that Tampa 2, the guys are too good. They run you up out of that. You can't play that coverage. Not the whole. The Tampa 2 worked really well. When you got Warren Sapp, first ballot Hall of Famer. Derek Brooks, first ballot Hall of Famer. You got Simeon Rice, could easily be, he's over 100 sacks. You got John Lynch, that was